today we're going to do some reading. Yeah, we're going to read aloud. Okay, so I'm going to read the first page, and then you guys are going to read the subsequent pages. And again, because half the class is not here, it's a little bit it's fine. It's just a bit tedious. And then I'm going to ask you comprehension. Yeah, remember I said like uh if we understand. Does that sound okay? We're going to do some reading. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, Marlon, this is for you. Okay, so I'm gonna. Can anyone tell me? Did any of you do research on this book?
Kind of, sir. I did some.
Yeah, can you just talk about it briefly?
I mean, I really don't did much, but I did about I read the same story again and again and research it in Wikipedia, and it
Okay.
says it same thing. It just gives the same info where the story starts.
Yeah, go on. What's the story about?
I'll give a short summary, sir.
Yeah,
It just
please. Yeah,
it just a bunch of young guys
yeah,
crashed there in the island, and then they found a shell, and then they
yeah,
used shell for communicating, and then they discussed, and they got a leader who's the oldest guy in their group, and then they have some adventures, they have new experience. One sec. Yeah, and then they pick a leader named Ralph. They
yeah,
use the shell to communicate. They make their
yeah.
own rules to stay safe. They set
Okay.
campfire to stay away from the danger.
Yeah, animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Priya. Thank you, thank you. Priya. I can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. Did you manage to do the homework? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you do any research on
Actually,
the
I
book?
just researched in I just read in the earlier, but then I also researched from the Wikipedia. I understood little bit about the book. So
Okay.
the summary of the book, like in chapter one of the Lord Files, we learned that children are stranded on an island as a result of the plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
So the Vicky and the name of Vicky and Ralpha meet first, and then they call meeting by using consult anyone else on the island.
Yeah,
But they meet the boy named Jack,
yeah,
who has put himself in charge of his child. The
yeah,
whole group elect Alpha to be leader of the group, and then Jack and Simon and explore the area and discovering that they are on an uninhabited island, like something. At the end of the chapter, Jack almost kills a pig, but falters and loses confidence, which embarrass him and make him even more eager to come and kill something later. Like um, there are several quotas from the dialogue of Picky and Ralph and Jack that help readers understand their characterization. So it that's why these things I understood from the story.
Okay, wow, that's really, really good. Well done. That's really great.
Yeah.
Did the other two of you hear that? Yeah. Amadan, can you just briefly tell me, did you do any of the research on the book?
Yes, sir. I searched it, but sir, in the Google I searched
Yeah,
it. There's a group of British boys who are stranded on an unique habitat
yeah.
island, and their distressing disastration attempts to govern themselves.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's the main thing. Govern themselves. So what's the most important thing is that they're all by themselves, yeah, and they're all boys, yeah. They're all like young teenage boys, yeah? So they're school-age boys, yeah? So you all read the first chapter. What did you think of the first chapter?
It's pretty good, sir.
Yeah? Priya?
In the first I read, it actually I don't understand and it's little bit made confused. But again,
Yeah.
I read and I could able to figure out the story
Yeah.
of plot. Yes.
Amudan, did you like the first chapter?
Yes, sir, but little like I confused, sir.
Yeah, confused. Did you read it again?
I think I read it, but after that one I searched in Google, sir, for easy to understand it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's important. So if you don't understand something, just Google it. Yeah, you're very fortunate. We're very fortunate in this time to have Google. So the main thing I would suggest, the other two done that. Just read. You have to reread, okay? And you can't go through it fast. You have to go through it very slowly. It's not a big book, so you don't need to worry. Oh, will I don't. It's too big for me. I don't have enough time. It's a very short book, and the chapters are very short as well, like 30 pages. Should take about an hour, but that's if you're reading at a full comprehension. Maybe you will take like, if you read it one day, one chapter, and then the next day, and then the next day, you just have to reread, okay? So what I was saying is it's very hard. So you have to reread, okay? The main thing is not just to read, but reread. Yeah? Amudan? So because every single book that you read, every single novel that you read has a kind of internal logic, yeah? And you have to find your way into the logic, okay? So in the beginning, we don't know what's happening. We have no idea what is happening, yeah? We don't know who these people are. We don't know what is happening. Are they in school? Why are they all school age? Are there girls there? Are there parents there? Where does this take place? Does it take place because they're all the writer is English, so does it happen in England? No, it happens on an island. When was this book published? So is it taking place when the book is published? Is it taking place in the future? Is it taking place in the past? How do we identify that? Yeah, does everyone understand? So how do the characters speak? Yeah, I'm going to come on to that in a minute. How do the characters speak? Yeah, all of these things are information that help you get into the logic of the book. Yeah, a novel is quite difficult. A novel is not a piece of business prose, yeah? It's not as straightforward, yeah? So you have to, Amadan, you have to really think about what you're reading, yeah? So it might look like there's only 30 pages. That might seem easy, but you have to understand those 30 pages. You have to go into the story, okay? So whenever you read a novel, yeah, that one of the reasons we're reading this, because all this time we've basically been doing like non-fiction, yeah? We've been doing a business report or a film report or a work report, yeah? Or a restaurant. These are all conversations. And fiction, yeah? We call this, this is called fiction, yeah? A novel is called fiction, yeah? It's a made-up story, yeah? And then non-fiction is what we've been sort of doing, yeah? Business report is non-fiction, yeah? Scientific report is non-fiction, yeah? Journalism is non-fiction, yeah? Valangada, yeah? Okay, so what we're going to try and do, I hope also the other thing that I was going to say is, did you all write down any words that you didn't know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
They're having
Amadan?
a lot of many words.
Yeah, there are many words. Yeah. So this is why it's important to read. The reason it's important to read is because in conversation, do you remember I don't know if you were all there, in conversation, you only use about 90% of the time, you only use about 3,000 words. Okay? The English language has about 100,000, maybe 200,000 words. A lot. Yeah. Obviously, you don't need to know all that. Yeah. The average English speaker, yeah, depending on their education level, knows between 20,000 to 30,000 words. Okay. But 90% of the time, we only use about 3,000. Okay. If I recall correctly, maybe you guys can research how much. So in any language you're trying to learn, you only need the first 3,000 words to get up to speed. Yeah. Amadan? So you already probably know 3,000 words. Okay. all of you know 3,000 words because you're all able to speak English. So that's not a problem. The problem is then the 10% is the most difficult percent, yeah? And the only way you can really begin to familiarize yourself with this 10% is to read, because it doesn't come up in conversation. Does everyone understand? Valangada, pesekle in the vatel varela. Adakadan vasikunum. Yeah? Vasi gati in the vatel teriya. The akal. Usually they will know, like people, but they just doesn't come up in conversation. Okay, I'll give you an example. Yeah. There is a word called efflorescence, yeah. That means to kind of glow, yeah. But you would not use that word in normal conversation, okay? But you need to know the word because then you understand the meaning, yeah. Also, when you're reading, you should have a pen and paper, yeah. If you're trying to read for study, you should have a pen and paper, pencil and paper, and then you should underline. Well, you can't in this case, but if you have a paper copy, then you can underline or highlight. You all know what a highlighter is, yeah? Highlighter, yeah. So what I would do is when you come across a word you don't understand, you just write it down, yeah? But also you have to, before you look it up, before you look the word up, yeah, dictionary ka paaka modal, you have to ask yourself, do I know from the context? Yeah? Context in the meaning of the kalama, yeah? Yeah. So you read the sentence and you think, okay, what does this word mean? Do I know? And then from the context, what can we do? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask on the first page. Yeah. You can see there the first page. If you just go to the first page that you are on. Yeah. Are you guys, everyone on the first page? Yeah. The sound of the shell. Some of them. There's a word there. It's in capital letters. Home counties. Can you all see the word home counties about halfway down? The fair boy stopped and jerked his stockings with an automatic gesture that made the jungle seem for a moment like the home counties. About halfway down the page. Can you see that? Madhavan?
Is it in the first page, sir?
Yeah, first page. First page. Can you all see the word home counties?
No, sir.
Okay, you keep looking for it. Priya, what other home counties? You know?
It showed that in the text, sir, but I don't know the meaning of
Okay, Amudan, do you know the meaning?
No, sir.
Okay, this is what I mean, yeah? Guys, when you come across a word that you don't understand, you have to look it up. Yeah? Yes? Marlon?
Sir, I haven't found the word yet.
Yeah, don't worry. Just it's called, the word is home counties. Let me type it in.
Yeah.
Okay, is Indonesia split up into different regions? Different local regions, Priya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
What about
sir.
Thailand? Madhavan, what about Thailand? Is it split up into different regions?
I don't think so, sir. Not in many places.
What about cities? Are there different cities?
No, sir. They're mostly Buddhist. If it's Thai,
What does that mean, Buddhist?
Buddhist people, sir. I don't know how to explain.
No. Listen, you know the country?
Yes.
Does it have different local regions?
I have no
I'm
idea.
going to say yes. Like there's different cities. There's Bangkok, and then there's another city, and then there's Bali. Yeah, all of these places. Yeah. Okay. So in England, yeah, you know the author is English. Yeah.
Yeah.
In England, the local regions are called counties. Okay. Yeah. So the island of England, of the UK, is split up into counties. Yeah. From medieval times, from over 1,000 years ago. Yeah. They split the island up into counties. Yeah. They split the country up into counties. Okay. And the home counties are the counties around London. You all know London is the capital of England, yeah, and the UK, yeah.
Yes.
So around London is called the home counties. Okay.
Okay.
So when he says home counties, you don't need to know the word counties. The most important thing is home. So
Okay.
he's on a different island, yeah. He's on a completely tropical island, yeah.
Okay.
But he's saying it seemed like home for a moment, yeah. Yeah. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
So he still thinks. Then you understand. Okay, this is a different place. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
And it's not like a capital city.
Yeah. No. A county is like a region. You know what a region is?
No.
A region.
Yes, I
Just look.
know.
It's like a small in the on the Natukla Ulukla or Adam, yeah, or like around a city. Like you know, Sri Lanka has Colombo, has Jaffna, yeah. Jaffna and Colombo are not the same. Yeah, it's different region. Yeah. So in the same way, a county in England is like a small region in the big country. Yeah. So the home counties are the ones around London. Okay. So London is a big city, but home counties are around London, small regions. Okay. But the main point is that he's thinking of Vidavati Yosikre. Okay. In the pool, yeah. The author, William Golding, he's English. Yeah. He used to be a school teacher. Yeah. He taught school, in private school for boys. Yeah. So his experience with school children is what informs this novel. Yeah. Is what he's writing about. Okay. So we're just going to do a bit of reading. Yeah. But I will summarize at the end what I want you to do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read. Can you all hear me properly? Because all of you will read in a minute. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Just tell me if you can follow. Yeah. Just look at your copy of the novel. Chapter 1, The Sound of the Shell. The boy with fair hair lowered himself down the last few feet of rock and began to pick his way towards the lagoon. Though he had taken off his school sweater and trailed it now from one hand, his grey shirt stuck to him and his hair was plastered to his forehead. Do you all know what plastered means? While I'm reading, you need to just write down any words that you don't know. Don't look them up right now. Don't worry about looking them up. It'll take too long. You need to listen to me. The other thing is, I have a British edition, and I think the edition that I sent you is an American edition. Okay? So sometimes the words will be a little bit different. Okay? So don't worry, don't freak out. Oh, why is his different to ours? Is his right and ours is wrong? It's just different language, okay? Because American English is slightly different to British English. Yeah? And that is something you will learn when you learn more English. So for example, there's a word, inipu, yeah, sweets. Yeah. In America, you call it candy. Yeah. In America, you call it candy, and in the UK, you call it sweets. So I think later on we might come across it today. They say candies. They will be on your screen, on your copy, it will say candies, and on my screen it will say sweets. Yeah. So that's just without tolerant. Don't worry if you see that. Yeah. Don't worry too much if my copy is different to your copy. Yeah. It's just one is UK English, one is British English, and one is American English. Yeah. They're slightly different. Okay. But basically you can understand. Okay. Yeah. It's like Indian Tamil and Sri Lankan Tamil. Vidyasan Terinane, Indian Tamil and Sri Lankan Tamil. Yeah. So it's a little bit like that. Okay. Different accent and different words. Okay. So don't worry. Let me keep reading. Also, when I come across a word that you don't understand, just write it down. Okay. Okay. What I want you to do, actually, let me just be clear. So here I've written down the date that I started reading. Yeah. The date that I started reading and the novel. Yeah. Yeah. And I also write down what year the novel was published. Yeah. Do any of you know when the novel was published? It's first published in 1954. Yeah. 1954 is like almost 70 years ago. Yeah. So it's an old book. Okay. So you have to think, okay, this is an old book. I need to think about the language that is going to be used. Okay. It didn't happen. It wasn't published last year. So you have to think 1954 is almost 70 years ago. Yeah. It's before any of us was born. So you have to think, okay, what kind of mentality, yeah, mindset is that era? Yeah. What are people thinking? What are people doing in that era? Yeah. So it might even help you to like look up England in the 1950s. Yeah. Don't worry too much. But when I read a novel, yeah, and you should do this going forward because you're all trying to learn English, you need to write down the novel, you need to write down the author, you need to write down the year it was published, and then you need to write down the date that you are beginning the novel. Yeah. And then you can write any words you don't know, you just write down in your little notebook. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we've already come across one, plastered. Yeah. So just if you write that down. Okay. All around him, the long scar smashed into the jungle was a bath of heat. He was clambering heavily among the creepers and broken trunks when a bird, a vision of red and yellow, flashed upwards with a witch-like cry. And this cry was echoed by another. Hi, it said. Wait a minute. The undergrowth at the side of the scar was shaken, and a multitude of raindrops fell pattering. Wait a minute, the voice said. I got caught up. The fair boy stopped and jerked his stockings with an automatic gesture that made the jungle seem for a moment like the home counties. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Yeah. There's lots to think about. Yeah. In just that very short amount of time, lots to think about. Yeah. But for now, I just want to let's just do a bit of reading. Okay. I don't want to get caught up too much in the meaning. Okay. Priya, do you think you can read?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you read from The Voice Spoke Again, please?
The
Yeah,
voice
thank you.
spoke again.
Yeah.
I cannot hardly move with all these creeper things. The owner of the voice came backing out of the undergrowth so that twigs scratched on crazy windbreaker. The neck crooks of his knees were plumb off and scratched by the thorns. He went down, removed the thorns carefully, and turned around. He was shorter than the fair boy and very fat. He came forward, searching out safe lodgments for his feet, and then locked it up through thick spectacles. Okay. Where is the man with the megaphone? The fair boy shook his head. This is an island. At least I think it is an island. That is a reef out in the sea. Perhaps there aren't any grown-ups anywhere. The fat boy looked startled. There was that Violet, but he wasn't in the passenger cabin. He was up in front. The fair boy was peering at the reef through screwed up eyes. All them other kids, the fat boy went on. Some of them must have got out. They must have, mustn't they? The fair boy began to pick his way as casually as possible toward the water. He tried to be offhand and not too obviously uninterested, but the fat boy carried after him. Aren't there any crowns up at all? I don't think so. The fair boy said this solemnly, but then the delight of realized ambition overcame him. In the middle of the scare, he stood on his head and grinned at the reversed fat boy. No crowns up. The fat boy thought for a moment. That Violet, The fair boy allowed his feet to come down and sat on the stony earth. He must have flown off after he dropped us. He couldn't land here, not in a plane with wheels. We was attacked. He will be back all right. The fat boy shook his head. When we was coming down, I looked through one of them windows. I saw the other part of the plane. There were planes coming out of
Great. Okay.
coming
Okay.
out
Thank
of
you.
it.
Thank you. That was really good reading. Thank you. So I just want to quickly, in the last sentence, he says, we was attacked. When we was coming down, I looked through one of them windows. Is that correct English? We was attacked. What's the correct there? What should he say?
Sir, which sentence?
Actually,
We was attacked. What's the correct English?
we were attacked.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we were attacked. Okay. So why does the author do that? Why does he make one of the characters speak incorrect English?
Like maybe he was saying it.
Yeah, the way he speaks, yeah, shows you that his character a little bit, yeah. Maybe he might not be educated, or maybe he might be a little bit stupid. Okay.
He's a kid.
Yeah. So that gives you an insight. Yeah. Does everyone understand insight? Remember I said you have to go into the logic of the book. Yeah. So the logic of the book is saying you can't say, oh, why is he not speaking? This is not correct English. The author doesn't know how to write English. Yeah. You have to think, okay, the character speaks this way. Yeah. And there is a reason why. Yeah. Karanam. Is that in Tamil Karanam? Yeah. So these are the kinds of things you have to pick up on. Okay. So you can ask questions. Just pretend like you don't know anything. Yeah. The best way to read a novel is I don't know anything. So I have to ask all the time questions. Okay. What does this word mean? Why does he speak like this? The most important thing is what is happening. Yeah. அதுவெல்லாம் வேற ஒன்றும் பிரயோசனம் இல்லை என்ன இங்க நடக்குது யா இந்த கதையில என்ன நடக்குது யா that's the most important thing பேந்து கேட்கலாம் ஏன் இப்படி எழுதுறாரு யா or who is in the book yeah so plot and character yeah that's the Priya well done Amudan
Yes, sir.
can you read a little bit
Yes.
so he looked up and down the sky.
He looked up and down the sky, and this is what can be done. The fair boy reached out and touched the just end of the trunk. For a moment, he looked interested. What happened to it? He asked. Where is it got to know? The storm thrust it out to sea.
Dragged
Dragged it out to sea. It wasn't half dangerous with all them. Tree trunks falling. There must have been some kids still in it. Yeah, that's just it.
he hesitated
He hesitated for a moment. What is that word? Moment. Elka. What the? Oh, he hesitated for a moment, then spoke again. What's your name? Ralph. The fat boy waited to be asked his name in turn, but this proffer of
acquaintance
acquaintance was not made. The fair boy called Ralph smiled vaguely, vaguely stood up, and began to make his way once more toward the lagoon. The
Lagoon, yeah.
lagoon. The fat boy hung
Steadily.
steadily at his shoulder.
Great. Okay, thank you. Okay, that was really well read. Thank you. So again, guys, you understand that there's lots of words there that are not, you don't know, yeah? And the other thing is you don't know how to pronounce them, yeah? Which is fine. Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal, yeah? But you need to quickly understand, okay, how can I learn these words? You need to write them down, okay? And maybe you can also, this is why it's also important to watch English movies, yeah? And listen to English TV show and movies, because they will speak and then you will begin to understand, yeah? Yeah? Okay. Ordinarily, I would just go over some words, but because I want to just continue the flow, we're just going to keep going, okay? Don't worry, you're both reading well. Don't worry too much, yeah? About the words for now. That will come. Yeah? Yeah? The more you read, the better it's going to be. Ideally, you should be reading every day, even 10 minutes. I would just read a chapter a day. Okay, Madhuran, can you read from I expect there's a lot more?
Sure, sir. 1 second. I lost the page.
I expect there's a lot more scattered about of us scattered about. Page 3.
Sir, page. Okay. I expect there's a lot more of us scattered about. You haven't seen it, have you? Ralph shook his head and increased his speed.
Yeah, you slow down. Don't worry. Just calm down. Slow down. It's fine.
Okay.
Just relax.
Then he tripped over a branch and came down with a crash. The fat boy stood by him, breathing hard. My auntie told me not to run, he explained, on account of my asthma.
Asthma na tarindane? You all know asthma is, yeah? Okay.
Asthma? That's right.
Wait, one second. Why is he saying asthma?
I have no idea, sir.
He doesn't know what asthma is.
Okay.
It's kind of disease.
Yeah, no. Asthma means you got but non kirkren and on the rap kirkren asthma in apri solred asthma. Yeah? Because he doesn't know. Asthma and that's why he's saying that. Yeah? So he doesn't know what that is. So because he doesn't know what that is, he thinks the boy is weird. Yeah? Remember, if the more you read, everyone laughs at Piggy, yeah? They call him fat, yeah? And so he also has asthma, yeah? So he's clearly a kind of character with problems, yeah? Remember I said, when you're reading, you have to go into the logic of the book, okay? So this character Piggy, he's fat. Everyone calls him Piggy. They're Pandi and Kuprinam, yeah? No, of course not. So he also has asthma, yeah? And yeah. Okay, you keep reading. That's right.
Okay. I was the only boy in our school what had asthma, said the fat boy with a touch of pride. And I have been wearing specs since I was 3.
Okay, stop there. So what I was saying, does everyone understand? He has asthma. He's fat. He wears glasses. Yeah. So are you beginning to understand the picture of this boy? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In the story, he's a little bit of a loser. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So he's going to get picked on. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
He took off his glasses and held them out to Ralph, blinking and smiling, and then started to wipe them against his grubby windbreaker. An expression of pain and inward concentration altered the pale contours of his
Yeah,
face.
contours.
He smeared the sweat from his cheeks and
Sweat.
sweat from his cheeks and quickly adjusted the spectacles on his nose.
Yeah.
Damn fruit. He glanced round the car. Damn fruit, he said, I expect. He put on his glasses, waved away from Ralph, and crouched down among the tangled foliage.
Foliage. Wait, hold on. Foliage and other things.
No, sir.
Like grass or vegetation, yeah? Like madam, grass, bush, yeah? Foliage.
Okay. I'll be out again in just a minute.
Okay,
Ralph.
great. Does everyone know do you understand what's going on there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? They're being introduced to each other, yeah? So this is a very important moment because this is the first time two characters who don't know each other meet, yeah? Remember when you meet someone in real life, the first time you meet them is quite important, yeah? You get a lot of information about them, yeah? So Ralph, what does the author keep calling Ralph? The fair boy, yeah? Yeah? So the first line is the boy with fair hair. Yeah? Then over the page, the fair boy shook his head. Yeah? And then the other thing is the fair boy called Ralph, smiled vaguely. Yeah? So we know his name is Ralph and he has fair hair. Yeah? So it also helps if you to write a character biography. Yeah? And just say Ralph has fair hair, Piggy is fat, he wears glasses, he has asthma. Yeah? Just to know. Yeah? So they're being introduced, yeah, and Ralph is a kind of, you can kind of see what the contrast, yeah, between Ralph and Piggy, yeah. So later on, Ralph is like a leader, yeah, and Piggy is like outcast, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. I'll just read a little bit, and then we're gonna just talk about it, okay? Ralph disentangled himself cautiously and stole away through the branches. In a few seconds, the fat boy's grunts were behind him, and he was hurrying towards the screen that still lay between him and the lagoon. He climbed over a broken trunk and was out of the jungle. The shore was fledged with palm trees. These stood or leaned or reclined against the light, and their green feathers were hung 100 feet up in the air. The ground beneath them was a bank covered with coarse grass, torn everywhere by the upheavals of fallen trees, scattered with decaying coconuts and palm saplings. Behind this was the darkness of the forest proper, and the open space of the scar. Ralph stood, one hand against a grey trunk, and screwed up his eyes against the shimmering water. Out there, perhaps a mile away, the white surf flinked on the coral reef, and beyond that open sea was dark blue. Within the irregular arc of coral, the lagoon was still as a mountain lake, blue of all shades and shadowy green and purple. The beach between the palm trees and the water was a thin bow stave, endless apparently. For to Ralph's left, the perspectives of the palm and beach and water drew to a point at infinity, and always, almost invisible, was the heat. Okay, so that is quite complicated, yeah? But you remember I said that we have to go outside of our comfort zone. So don't worry too much if you don't understand everything, okay? Don't worry too much, but you do need to reread and try to figure out. This is why Wikipedia summary is important, yeah? Also, you can also just Google Lord of the Flies plot summary or Lord of the Flies study notes, yeah? And then you can read those, yeah, Amudan? Yeah? It's quite a complicated book, okay? But you have to read beyond your understanding to become better, yeah? So what's happened here is that he's come out, he's just met this boy, Piggy, and then he's walked away, yeah? And he's trying to figure out where they are, yeah? So where does it look like they are? Judging by that description, where are they?
In the forest, in the island.
Yeah, but a special kind of forest, like a tropical forest, yeah?
Yeah.
He's talking about a blue beach, blue water, yeah? All shades of palm trees, etc., yeah? Yeah?
Yes.
Do you all understand that, yeah? So maybe you can also, we're going to go quite slowly. Don't worry too much about finishing the book. I'm not going to concerned about finishing the book. I'm concerned about you understanding the book. Okay? So don't worry too much. Oh, don't worry too much. The main thing is that you understand. Yeah? So even if we get through only half the book or quarter of the book, the main thing is that we understand what we're reading, yeah? A novel is very different to non-fiction, okay? Fiction is very different from non-fiction. It has a logic, yeah? And you have to get into that logic, okay? And this is another reason why you guys all need to start reading more, okay? You need to start reading more storybooks because it will help you, yeah? You can also read at a slightly lower level than this, yeah? This is like an adult book almost. It does, in England, they do teach to 16-year-olds, yeah? But don't worry too much, yeah? You can read like simpler books, yeah? Remember, I said you have to take initiative. So just Google what are some good books for English foreign language learners, yeah? If you're learning English as a foreign language, yeah? What are some good books? There's loads and loads and loads of books, okay? So you just Google those and then try and get a copy online, yeah? Just type the name of the book and then put in at the end PDF and there should be a copy, okay? Or ask me, I need a copy of this book and I'll try and get you a copy, an electronic copy, a PDF, okay? So the main thing is that you guys already understood. So within these, we only read like 4 pages. Within these 4 pages, there's a lot is happening, okay? So we have to discover this, like something strange is happening. They're on an island, yeah? Their plane has crashed, yeah? Yeah, the plane caught on fire and it crashed. There's 2 characters. One is fat and he has glasses and he has asthma. And he was, and so he can't run around, yeah? Which is going to be a handicap, yeah? In the coming novel, yeah? Because they're all going to run around. They're by themselves. And another main thing is that there are no adults, yeah? Perhaps there aren't any grown-ups anywhere, yeah? So basically, these kids are all alone. What do you think happens when boys especially are alone? What do you think happens?
They have fun.
They have fun, but what else?
Nothing, sir.
They get into
scared.
fights. Yeah, they get scared. They get into fights.
Yeah,
So it's like a dramatic situation, yeah? Have you
Yes.
have all of you been to school?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you know like when fights break out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Akal solre on teacher ku na vaatiyarukku poi solla poran, yeah? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Priya? But Inga in the story vaatiyar illa. There is no vaatiyar. There is no adults. Okay? So the book is about there's no authority. It's just the boys. Yeah? So it's a kind of interesting situation. Yeah?
Yes.
Without grown-ups, what is going to happen in the book? Okay? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So remember, I don't really care too much about finishing the book. I care about understanding, yeah? So when you read, you have to have a pen and paper, yeah? And you have to think, okay, yeah? You don't have to understand everything. You don't, yeah? But you just have to understand as much as possible so that you can follow the story. Okay? Because என்ன நடக்குது உங்களுக்கு விளங்காட்டி you will lose interest. Yeah? இது சும்மா வார்த்தையை வாசிச்சு கொண்டு இருக்கிற மாதிரி. Yeah? கதையை பிடிக்க மாட்டீங்க. Just சும்மா வார்த்தையை. It's not பிரயோசனம் இல்ல. Yeah? It's a waste of time. Okay? So don't worry, we're probably not going to finish the book because we're going to understand and thoroughly. Okay? So next week, yeah, 3 people are not here. So you are very fortunate. Just reread the first chapter. Okay? Reread the chapter, but you really have to understand. Okay? Yeah? So next week, I will ask the 3 of you to help the other 3. Okay? Yes? We will do more reading. And because you've read more than them, you've read it twice, you have to understand doubly. Yeah? Yeah? You have to understand doubly. Okay? Do you guys think this book is too hard? A little bit. It is hard. I'm not gonna lie. It is a difficult book. Okay. It's for
Actually,
kids.
little bit is difficult for us, sir.
Yeah. I understand that. But the reason I chose it is because you need to be difficult. Yeah. It needs to be a little bit difficult to stretch your ability. Yeah. So if you can read a book like this, then you can basically read any English book. Yeah. Yeah. It's not too hard. It's not, I didn't pick an incredibly hard book. I just picked it's hard to read because you're not used to reading. Yeah. Do you all read in your spare time? Amadan? Do you read in your spare time? Okay, don't worry. But remember, if you're trying to learn English, you have to read, yeah? That's probably the best way. Yeah? Sometimes you can learn a language just by reading a book, okay? So, yeah, so try, not just this book, but try in the future, just try and read. Just Google English as a foreign language novels to read, and then just read those, yeah? But I understand it's hard. It's a difficult book, yeah? But it's also not beyond you, yeah? But you just need to grow, you know. So remember, I told you this is the first thing. Here is your level, and here is the book, and you have to go up here, okay? Yeah? Put the kula kondavarela, yeah? Yeah? Okay, great. So next week, we're just going to do the chapter again. I don't know if those guys will read the chapter, but you guys have to be really good on the chapter, yeah? On the first chapter, you have to be really good, yeah? Priya? Also, read aloud, yeah? Read aloud and என்ன?
சத்தமா
Amudan?
வாசிக்கிறது?
Yeah. What's read aloud, Amudan?
சத்தமா வாசிக்கிறது.
Say again?
சத்தமா வாசிக்கிறது.
Yeah. That means, you know what we just did? But say the Nangela. So you have to read aloud, and then you have to look at any words you don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, and then just Google those as well. So not just pronounce. You don't have to do every single word, but some words, some important words, you have to look. Okay, how do I pronounce this? Yeah, because when you speak, you have to pronounce correctly. Otherwise, people know. Okay, if it's English, yeah. Yes. Okay, so for next week, just read the chapter again, and you have to really, really understand it. Okay, it's important. Don't worry about chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, or chapter 12. We're probably not going to do that. We're probably only going to do like maybe half the book. I don't know yet, because other people have to read as well, and I don't know if they're going to be if they find it too difficult. Okay, great. Yeah, all good. Do you have any questions? Do you guys have any questions? Okay, the one question you need to ask when you're reading, yeah? The main question you need to ask is the question, what is happening right now? Yeah? What is happening right now in the book? Yeah, if you can answer that question, great, yeah? If you can't answer that question, you need to reread until you answer that question. Yeah? You need to reread the chapter, you need to reread the paragraph, you need to reread the page until you can answer the question, okay? So that might mean that you're going very slowly, yeah? But already you've had 1 week, just do another week of chapter 1, okay? Yes? Okay, great. I think we're finished, yeah? Guys, I will see you next week, yeah?
Have
Hopefully
a
there'll
nice
be
week.
more. Yeah, wait 1 second before we go. This is going to be quite slow, okay? Because even with 3 of you, it's quite slow. So imagine 6, Ara Perenda, even slower, yeah? And everyone's ability is different, okay? Some of you can read well, some of you can read less well, yeah? So you have to be patient with other people, okay? The thing is, I don't want to interrupt you. The only thing I'll really do is correct your pronunciation. But I don't want to interrupt saying yeah, because it will ruin the flow of your speaking, okay? So you just need to be patient, but you also need to be listening when other people are reading, yeah? Yes? Okay. Everyone have a good week, yeah? I'll see you next week, okay? Mardelan, get
Thank
well, yeah? Hope you get well soon.